Hey guys, Joe and Laura here. This is not the usual Joe and Laura, the Joe and Laura from the future that you've come to know and love.
Oh my gosh, you should check out the future, guys.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's crazy, and I can't say if it's good
There's
or bad.
like dogs and cats. People have computers and phones. They have cell phones and stuff.
You know how they have protein bars now?
Oh my God. You guys are missing out.
In the future, there's some pretty wild things.
You're going to be built up.
Oh man, because I'm jacked.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
it's relative now because we're all so jacked that you're like still less jacked than everyone else.
That's your opinion.
Sure. Guys, last week we said, we're going on break. And then when we went and came back from break, we were like, psych.
We're sorry about that.
Sorry. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I hate when people yank me around.
We didn't mean to do that though.
No.
Because
Saul
we just didn't know.
Ravencraft is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, he is long-winded. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
We're not saying there's anything wrong with that, Saul. No. Don't put a hex on us or something. Okay, whoa,
please.
Calm down.
And also, Laura said it. If anyone said it, it was Laura.
Put the wand down, Saul.
LLB.
Step away from the trunk.
I didn't see a wand.
Oh, he had a wand in that trunk. Are you kidding me?
Whoa.
I know he did. He said Harry Potter could be real.
What if he's the boy who lived?
He could be. I wouldn't be surprised.
Saul Ravencraft is a name from Harry Potter.
Yeah. He could definitely be the boy who lived. I wouldn't put it past him. But yeah, so we said we were going on break. We didn't. We ended up ending the episode there because it was a long one. We had more to get to.
We had so much to talk about.
And so what's coming up next is the second half of this psychic reading from Saul, where he is going to read our palms and do our cards.
Yes.
And we're from the future. We know what happens.
Yeah, we know that what he said turned out to be exactly true.
Yeah, and we wouldn't tell you to listen to it unless it was awesome. So you can trust us. You can always trust us.
Yeah, and I'm really, a lot of people say I look really buff. So
yeah, and people in the future, they drink water out of bottles and they go on walks and stuff. We do lots of things here in the future that you guys you don't know about yet.
Well, and they wouldn't even understand some of the stuff.
Oh, yeah. We couldn't even say it because they'd be like, what do you mean a shower? What do you mean take a shower? That's so weird.
Fly in a plane?
Yeah, they wouldn't get it.
No.
What do you mean you get behind the wheel of this thing and it takes you from one place to another?
Wait, a podcast? I don't even get it.
Yeah.
So those are all words that you'll know eventually, but you don't know now.
Yeah, you'll get it.
And you're not dumb. You're just dumb
it's not your fault.
Compared to the future.
Yeah, it's like if we went if you went back in time and talked to cavemen. And you'd be like,
well, they're dumb, but you're also
so stupid, but it's not your fault.
They're a product of their time.
Right.
So you are stupid compared to us.
For sure.
But you're not stupid probably compared to your current time.
Right.
Anyway.
Cool. So stay tuned and you're going to hear the rest of this amazing psychic reading by Saul Ravencraft.
This is heavy friending. I'm friending you so hard. An alliance slowly forming like a boulder in my heart. So if you wanna fucking friend me, better give me all you got. No, I don't take this lightly, cause it's heavy friendly. There is an eagle flying.
All right, we are back, and we have sanitized our hands.
We have.
And I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, and I like it because now they're wet, and I can say it's because of the sanitation.
Right. And that's why I said we should sanitize. I was doing it for you. I was looking out for you, buddy.
Whoa, that was nice of her, right?
Yeah, it was. Now, my hands, I want to say this. My hands, ever since I've been little, I actually have a picture of my hands on the printer at my mom and dad's office from when I was 5 years old. They've always looked this way. They're very wrinkly, the palm of my hands.
Okay.
Insanely wrinkly compared to most
I'm not a professional.
People.
Yeah, it's more wrinkly than mine.
It's way more. Look how many lines are on my hand compared to yours.
Okay, is that, Saul, I mean, you're not really looking at it, but is that a sign of something?
There's a million, billion, bajillion lines.
Well, that would possibly be an indication of an old soul.
Which I am.
There would be other aspects of you sort of floating to the surface. And it would suggest that where many of us are old souls, but we are blissfully isolated from the other versions of ourselves so that we can focus on now. And while your path is defined, there may be a lot of connections to other echoes of previous paths. And so that would make everything just a little more challenging than it needs to be.
Okay. I think you should start with Joe's hand, though.
Sure.
Since he's right there.
Yeah, I'm
So
right next to
what
you.
we're going to do
He's not ready
today,
for you.
what we're going to do today
receive
is
you.
not to go real deep into the hands.
Okay.
We're just going to look at just some real big, high-level kinds of things.
Okay.
Because much of what we might look at in your palm was already covered by the
Right.
numbers.
Okay.
There's like 3 areas that I find really interesting to look at when we're looking at compatibility, looking at connection with people. So who's first?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So hold your hand up like you're saying, stop in the name of love. There we go. All right. I'm going to move your fingers around. Just let me do that.
Not thrilled with the length of your nails.
I did want to cut
Not
them
thrilled
today.
with it. Glad we're not sharing an ice bucket.
I'm glad you mentioned
Okay,
that
I'm
on
gonna
the
move your hand
podcast.
this
Yeah, I want
way.
the people to know. And the pinky nail. So
This is for my flamenco guitar. Yeah.
Your hand is showing fire as your element. Now, I know that you're a Cancer, which is a water sign. First, our hands reflect what we're doing right now, right? The stars and the astrology sort of defines the baseline, but then we exercise our free will. We go out and we experience the world. We do stuff. And sometimes your hand will stay in line with what your astrology points to, but just going with the idea that did the water energy feel right to you when you looked at being a Cancer?
what does water energy mean?
So
I don't
water,
remember, yeah.
well, think about what water is, right? So water is about flow and about going with the flow. Water takes the shape of what it's in. You pour it into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You pour it into a teacup, it becomes the teacup.
Yeah. I think that's true to a certain degree.
Right?
Yeah.
Now fire is a little more driven. Fire feeds. Fire must feed. And fire tends to be sort of driven in a particular direction. There's always a certain restlessness. Fire is always looking for the next thing. Fire will genuinely burn out on things. So if we look at the idea that your astrology does point to the water and that you feel good about that, but we got this fire energy going on as well, there's potentially some conflict. There's a part of you that really wants to just kind of go with the flow, and there's a part of you that wants to drive forward. So which statement makes more sense to you? Gosh, I'm really tired. I can't wait to sit at home alone by myself all weekend. Or gosh, I'm really tired. I need to go out and do something.
It's the former. for me.
It's definitely, currently, it's definitely, I want to go home.
Sure. So that's more of a water connection. I'm fire.
Yeah.
I used to be water. And it changed. That was an interesting moment. I said,
Your
"Was it?"
hand changed?
The hands changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was water, and I was talking to someone. I knew I was water. I didn't have to look at it again, right? And I was showing someone and said, "See, so my hand is water because." Oh, that's weird.
Like the appearance changes or the energy that you're seeing
Well,
coming off of your hand?
the energy, the shape of the hand reflects the energy, right? And your hand will change. The lines will change. Even the shape will change. Now, the challenge is that water and fire, and when y'all were talking about your astrology, and you had the water sign and you had the fire sign, that can be very challenging because that relationship demands balance. Because both energies have the ability to cancel each other out. Fire can boil away the water. Water can douse the fire.
boil
Well, I always
Right
thought
up.
about water putting out the fire, but I never thought about you boiling me
Boil
away.
you to death.
Oh,
Now
no.
you get the balance just right, and you get the jacuzzi, right? Who doesn't like that?
Hell yeah.
But it has to be done consciously.
Yes.
And one of the things about fire and water, when you're dealing with a couple, is they have to understand that from time to time they will need to back away from each other.
Ooh,
that
did you hear that?
energy is becoming too overwhelming, and when you back away, you have to back away, because otherwise someone is going to be damaged or destroyed there. Now, when the balance is reachieved, then everything's
Hot
good.
tub time.
But at that moment where the energy, the combination of the energy starts to be destructive, there has to be enough trust between the two people to be able to back away and go, you're too hot, you're too smothering, and that's okay.
Here's what I think I operate as a steamboat. Where I'm, like maybe a coal. I don't know, what are
There you
steamboats
go.
power?
Yeah.
Because like I part of me tries to be the water itself, and that's dealing with all the waves, the problems down here. But I want to stay driven up top and chug along on the surface. So it's, that part of me is like wants to really operate well, and then there's another part of me that's like, oh, I can go with the flow. But then when people screw up the flow part, and then I can get really screwed up.
And the
'Cause
way
I
that
am-
a steam engine works is it works when the water is contained.
Yeah.
And the fire creates the steam, which then pushes through and does some work, which turns it back into water, which comes back through. Now you get a leak in your steam engine.
Oh, I got leaks everywhere,
Right?
man. Oh, man.
But when you get a leak in the steam engine, then the water boils away. It escapes while it's steam, and then you're done, right? So for you, I like that steam engine analogy for you. I think that's probably a very
And then you
good
took it further because I didn't know how a steam
description.
engine works.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good description of what's going on with you, is that water nature is good for you, but you have to harness it.
Yeah, I don't want to catch on fire. I don't want my
And you
water
have to-
boiling away.
You have to put it to work, and you have to limit it.
Thank you. I could be your assistant. You mentioned Sherlock, and I could be your Watson.
See, I would hate to be a Watson to someone's Sherlock.
Well, we'll get to your hands.
I want to be Sherlock.
Sherlock.
Okay.
The other thing I want to point out
Sure.
is your heart line that deals with sort of how you deal with your emotion. It curves up here. There's a little what we call chaining in there, which is sort of rough spots. It looks to me as though you struggled with emotion early on and had to figure out how to deal with that. Is suggested. There's still some challenges.
What do you
there.
mean by
You're
emotion?
hitting the nail on the head
What do you
here.
mean? What do we
Hitting
mean?
the
Any
nail.
emotion or specific emotions?
Well, the hand doesn't tell me that.
Gotcha.
Right?
Showing the emotions?
But-
Do you
but
think-
I do think you're right. So I guess if it's not specific to
I'll see that in situations where people are taught that how they emote what they feel is wrong.
I think I know what it is.
Okay.
Well, or at least I have an idea.
Okay.
You ever have that where like your parents, like notice you and the girl, like they're like, ooh, and my dad just would have like a big grin on his face. He'd be like, ooh, that
Yeah.
girl and you, and then
Yeah.
you'd be like embarrassed
Yeah.
and you'd want to hide it.
Right.
And I don't know if that's exactly it, but I feel like for a long time I didn't want my parents to know about like
Right.
who I was dating and what, because you're just like,
Embarrassed and-
guys,
yeah.
don't do that to me. And so that might be part of my trying to hide emotion. Now I think I am more expressive, but it might. It's still there might
It's
still
just
there
weird
might be
that you
other
never
things too. I
expressed to
assume,
me
but yeah.
things that I think you should.
But it is hard for me to express for a lot of people, and I
Yeah.
did have a hard time as a kid too. Like when I was actually angry, a lot of times people would think I was joking, and so it was sort of like I wanted to express the emotion of anger, and I was angry, and then
But it
when
was
people
so
thought I
funny.
was joking. It would make me even more angry because I was like, I'm angry.
The
You're
first
not
time you got mad at me, I
understanding.
think I thought you were kidding.
Probably.
So.
Right. And so it's still a problem. But yeah. No, so I definitely do have emotional
Let me show
problems.
you this. So you can see the kind of the little X's It looks like chains. That's why we call it chaining, right? And you can see how it goes all the way across. Now, as you continue to acknowledge this, and you continue to work with it, what you're going to see is starting at this end of the line, it's going to start to smooth out a little bit.
Oh.
And that's when that tangible demonstration of you mastering this happens. Now, there will always be some chaining, right? Because that's your past.
Right.
That's never going to go away. But as you gain mastery, you will see it reflected in your hand, and you will see some of that start to even out a little bit.
Right.
All right.
There's hope.
The other thing that this is your headline that deals with how you interact with other people. You make friends fairly easily. You're a sociable person.
But he doesn't make deep friendships.
Right, and that's something I wanted to point out.
no.
See?
No, so you have a lot of acquaintances. You get along with people well, and people who connect with you like to be connected with you.
Yes.
Right? But if you look at sort of the beginning section here, you see how much deeper and thicker that is?
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's your inner circle. Right? And people have to pass the test to get into your inner circle. They don't know they're being tested. Right? You're compassionate enough that people that don't pass the test aren't sent away or anything like that. They just have to hang out on the porch. Right?
Is that why every time I come to your house, you don't answer the door?
Yes, you're on the porch.
But people have to pass demonstrate certain qualities to get into that inner circle there. Now, once they're in, you tend to lock the door behind them.
Oh no, I don't
you
know
can't
about
get
that.
out.
I don't know about that.
The call's coming from within the house.
You're very loyal, right? You're very loyal, and when someone has moved their way into your inner circle, they really have to do something pretty profound to get you to let them go.
Yeah.
Am I working my way in, Joe? Yeah. See, he can't express himself. He has trouble expressing. Joe.
You're in a screened-in porch. How about that?
I mean, I think I'm working my way in. We talked about some stuff this week.
You might have your hand on the doorknob.
Okay.
The good news is, if you don't make it inside, you'll never know for sure.
That's the good news. Now, that is the good news.
If I don't make it inside, I'm going to be pissed.
But
I
you won't
deserve
know.
to be in, Joe.
Ignorance
I need
is
to be
bliss.
in
All right.
the circle.
I'm excited to see how your friendship one is.
Which one do I show you?
So this is a little tricky here.
Should I get up and go near you, or
One of us needs to go near the other.
okay? I'm going to come to you.
Oh, yeah. Go unplug that thing.
Okay,
Ooh.
here we go. I'm moving.
Just going mobile.
I'm on the move.
Going old school.
Yeah, reporting on the scene.
You probably could have just swung that around, right?
What?
That
No, I'm
stand?
just going to go.
All right, so
you
stop in the name of love.
My right hand is what you want.
Right, that's the one that you write with.
Okay.
That's how you interact with the world.
Okay.
Possible transition here. But I'm mostly seeing water. So it's interesting.
Whoa.
What?
We're reversing people.
Oh my God.
I'm mostly seeing water here.
Okay. Do you need to see any more?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it this way. Don't let me
Okay.
bend you the wrong way.
I can't be bent the wrong way.
No,
I mean?
I don't approve of that.
Sorry, I just need a moment. All right. All right. Now this is interesting. Outward expression, and I didn't say that with you. You do express.
I do.
You do express. You don't bottle that up, and that's good because otherwise it goes into like your heart and your liver.
Yeah,
and those
sometimes
aren't
I explode
Good places
and
for
weep.
that, right? So sometimes that's inconvenient, but you do let stuff out, and that's good.
Little steam.
You got a little bit more of a poker face.
Laura has a poker face.
But you generally let stuff out as well, but you do it in a fairly disciplined fashion. A little chaining early on, but yours smooths out. Oh. Right? So something happened where you figured out how to tell those voices to shut the hell up. And you just...
Therapy.
started
Great
doing your thing.
Ooh.
Right?
Maybe I should
Told
do
you.
that.
I've told
So
you.
you can show him what he's aiming for there. But yeah, no, you definitely have gained control, and you're not struggling with that side of things so much, and that's good. That's good. So your headline, a little shorter here.
Oh, sorry.
A little deeper,
No.
right? So you are less openly friendly with folks.
That's true.
That's absolutely true.
110%.
Yo, man.
People who don't pass your test absolutely know that they did not pass
That's
your
true.
test.
Do they know?
Right?
They don't even get on the porch.
They are
No.
expelled.
They're run
Right.
off the yard. They're chased from the property.
So I think that's all we're going to look at
Okay.
right there.
So I'm water in my palm.
Yes. Yeah.
and
That's really
I have
weird.
physical water in my palms at all times.
Well, yeah, of course. That goes
So,
without saying.
One question that immediately comes to mind is your connection with each other
I think it's
creating
strong.
an influence
I think it's strong.
that is causing you to have some rebalancing? Is his core not water nature adding water to your experience, and is your core fire nature adding fire to his experience?
I think it's possible.
And your core energies are really different, right? In the fact that without the proper controls, they can't coexist.
With you just speaking with us without our numbers and our palms, do you think that we have different energies just sitting before you here?
Well, yeah.
Whose energy do you like more? That's what I want to ask.
I really like the dog.
Oh, isn't he great? He's great, Joe. Think
Yeah.
about it. Opening your heart just
Okay.
a little bit to him.
Maybe.
Letting him in.
Yeah.
Okay?
I do like him.
No, you don't. But you will.
Nudge.
Yeah, I'm nudging.
You're
I'm
too-
nudging, Joe. I'm gently
Your
nudging.
nudge is a jab more than a nudge. Hey, everybody. It's Saul Ravencraft.
Hey, Saul.
Oh, hi. Your hands are beautiful.
Thank you.
The lines speak to me.
What about Joe's lines?
Joe is a handsome young
Oh, really?
boy. His hands are soft,
You're coming out of it.
like he's never worked a day in his life.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Wow, Saul, thanks.
Oh, man. What a funny pair the two of us are, huh?
You and me, or me and Saul?
No, me and you, man. Come on. Best friends. Come
me
on.
and Saul too.
What a couple.
And
Me and Saul. But
we're
all
but
funny
mostly
pairs.
me and Saul.
And me and Saul.
And we thank you for listening to the episode.
Oh, man.
Is that Saul? I don't know.
I don't know.
But we thank you guys for listening. Hey, check us up. Give us a click on the subscribe. There's a button. It might say subscribe somewhere.
does.
Do that.
Also, like it. Give us 5 stars and tell us why you like it.
Rate. These things all, I'm told, help
I would like
us.
someone to leave a review that says, I have a sensual voice.
Ooh, or if
I
they
would
say,
love that.
my name's Saul Ravencraft.
Oh, Saul should review it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it should be the top rated review.
We need to ask him to review it before we release this podcast.
Well, Saul,
though.
I hope you're listening. Oh, yes.
Another action item for you guys.
Yeah. So that's easy. You could click. You already clicked it.
Yeah,
That's
you already
easy.
did that. You already reviewed us, said I had a sensual
it.
voice. But you can also go to Patreon,
Patreon.com.
patreon.com/heavyfriending.
And what can you do there?
You can pledge money to us, a monthly fee, any sort of money. It could be $1, it could be $2, it
Any
could be
sort of
$3,
money.
it could be $1,000,
Whoa.
it could be $100,000, it could be $1 million. I mean, sky's the limit on here, guys. But every month, it's just a little amount of money comes out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to help support this hilarious
show.
couple here.
Oh, I was going to say the show. It really helps the show more than a couple, but
Well, we're a hilarious.
we're a
couple.
hilarious couple, and occasionally we have guests like Saul.
Yeah.
And yes, we'd be so appreciative, however small an amount.
Yeah, it
You
could be
know,
1 penny. It's better than no pennies.
$1
guy.
a day?
If every person in the world gave us 1 penny, we'd be so rich.
Wait.
Think about it that way.
That would be cool.
Yeah, if everyone gave us a dime, we'd be 10 times richer than if they gave us a penny.
What would happen if everyone gave us 11 cents.
We'd be 11 times richer, Joe.
Wait, what about 12?
Now, my math may
I
be
can't
off
even
on
crunch
this,
the numbers.
but I'm thinking 12 times. Yeah. So
What?
maybe it's 32 times.
Whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely patreon.com/heavyfriending and become a patron. Support us because we support you and all your decisions. And we're there for you.
If you just ask,
Yeah. You need somebody to go to the doctor's office with you?
yeah, I'll
Make that
pee
terrible
in the
decision.
cup for
Oh,
you.
okay.
I got clean urine. My urine, real clean. I mean, it's dark,
It's dark. Oh, it smells like Honey Nut Cheerios, but
and tastes like it too. But the point is, there aren't drugs in it.
Yeah,
So I'll
so-
help you out.
yeah, help him or he'll help you and then you help us.
Is it a felony if I offer to do that? Or is it like illegal? Probably.
Oh yeah, I think
Just
it's
kidding.
illegal.
Just
but,
kidding.
You know, whatever we say on this podcast is within. We can say anything on this.
Oh, this is like
There's
international
free,
waters?
Yeah, free reign here. So
Okay, I will pee wherever you
I'll
want.
pee on you. Even that's
Well-
a thing. I'm open to that.
You will?
Yeah. If you want to pee in a cup for them, I'll pee on them directly. Or
Okay. And you can pour my pee on yourself if you want, but I'm not going to directly pee on you.
it would be easier for you to directly pee on them than for me, though.
Well,
'Cause you
not
could aim
easier than
it
peeing
in
in a
different
cup,
places.
Because the
Okay.
peeing in the cup, I could send it, I could have it delivered.
Okay, sure.
But if I'm peeing on them, I have to go there.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
might be busy.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Well,
Only if he's available, then maybe he'll do it.
but the cup,
But I have to be there.
send me a self-addressed stamped
And make sure
envelope
it's, like,
and a cup
sanitized
to
and
me,
everything.
and then I'll pee in it for you. Send it right back.
Yeah. But definitely self-address it. We're not paying for postage. That's not happening.
And I make so much urine, like no problem. I can do as
make some
many
right now.
patrons.
I've already peed in my pants like 10 times.
Okay. Well, this is all the reason you need to contribute to the show. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I have my tarot deck.
Okay.
I have a deck that is based on Greek mythology, and I have a deck of playing cards.
Okay.
I work with all of those. These are the ones that I most commonly do things with. The cards don't tell you your future. They tell you where you're pointed.
So this is empowering. I
think so.
It's not as scary as I maybe
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
thought potentially.
So here's the way I'm going to recommend this.
Yes.
Now, the way I'm going to do this is a reading that a style that I devised myself, and so elemental energy is a big deal for me, and so I see the elements as being a very
He's shuffling the cards.
yeah.
And he pulled them out of a blue velvet bag. Yeah.
So what I want you to do is one at a time. I want you to say, "Show me who I need," and then you'll take one of these cards and dig for it if you need to.
So I'll say, "Show me who I need." and
Show
then
me
grab
who I
a
need.
card. Okay.
And go for the one that feels right. Don't. It's not a card trick.
I'm gonna replant my feet again. Okay. Show me who I need. Sort of hovered there.
That was a good
Should I
one.
look at it?
Let's just set it here for the moment. Then we'll look at it.
Mysterious.
That way, everybody.
Okay, is this my moment? Show me who I need. That's the one. That's the one right
Okay.
there.
So, Joe, the energy for you is Dionysus, freedom.
I hate you.
It's so true.
All right.
He wants to be free of me.
No, Dionysus is about letting go. Dionysus is about Dionysus is the god of wine.
Well, hello. What about dry sherry?
And the story of Dionysus is he sort of became a god after he invented wine, and he went around and showed men how to make wine, and everyone began to party a little bit more. And
So we need alcohol to be friends.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, you need to let go of some of your inhibitions.
Boom. Nail on the head. Boom.
You need to be less worried about how things are supposed to be. And,
Preach.
And
Yes.
what is
You're
what
a little
is,
worried about how things are supposed to be, to be fair.
dignified, and much
Yes.
more open to to free expression, free experience.
Free
right?
love, Joe. Open up.
You
That's
gotta
interesting. That is interesting.
gotta loosen up a little bit, shake that ass.
Just shake that ass, bitch, and let me see what you got.
Shake that ass, baby. That's all I've been asking since day one.
No.
Shake that ass.
Oh, that's true. But it's not wrong. Probably.
Now, that doesn't mean like total transformation, right?
No,
We're
I
not
couldn't.
looking at
I
you
couldn't if
dancing
I
on
tried.
tables or anything like that.
Well, if the wine flows enough.
Just shake that ass, bitch, and let me see what you got.
But what Dionysus does is it tells us to let go of our concern about judgment.
Oh.
And to just be.
I like it. I think
I
that's
love it.
good
I think
advice.
that was
Good.
great for Joe.
Okay,
Perfect.
maybe you'll learn something. Oh.
Oh,
Yours is
Hades.
Hades.
That means we'll be friends in hell.
Hades.
Hades is the god
That
of
card
the
was
underworld.
calling to me.
The god of what?
The god of the underworld.
The underworld. Well, we know that.
Now, our concept of the underworld today, like you see in Wishmaster or something like that, is a fairly modern concept, right? Where the underworld was a place of torment and torture for people that didn't measure up, right? And
What did Jeffrey Dahmers say of society? Probably.
in previous visions, the underworld was simply a place where the dead went.
Oh.
Right? There were no clubs, right? There were no merit badges or anything like that. It was a place where the dead went because you weren't living anymore. And Hades is the one who oversees these poor souls and cares for them as best he can. He's not there to torment them. He's there to protect them.
Could Hades be a woman too, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a dark robe. We don't
Yeah.
know what's under there.
Okay.
But I think that Hades as an energy is very much about compassion, very much about being in the shadows, very
Have to
much
be in the
about
shadows.
being uncelebrated, but doing the work anyway.
I've got to tell you, Joe and I had a week this last week where I was so compassionate towards him that I was worried about him so much. He was on my mind all day that I even dreamed about him. I dreamt that he was transitioning, but not from male to female. He was transitioning into Bill Cosby. And I'm sure there's a lot of layers to that one.
I think dream interpretation would be interesting.
I would.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have a lot of compassion towards Joe, I think.
Well, I think the energy that rides around Hades is when Hades got turned over, you both had this reaction of, oh my God, it's Hades.
Yeah,
right?
because
Well,
she's dark.
I'm also obsessed with death, so that could be part of it too.
But there is a lot of fear and there is a lot of animosity toward Hades that is sort of driven into people. Oh my God, you deal with dead souls,
Yeah.
right? I have a friend of mine who's a mortician, and I was morbidly fascinated with her art. But as I've gotten to know her better, I've recognized the love that she expresses in helping people care for their dead. You have to let go of others people's. It's interesting. There's a connection here. One is kind of a loosening up, right? And yours is Hades isn't a villain, but he's vilified,
right here, sitting right here, vilified
right?
by you,
Me?
by the press,
What?
vilified in the
We
press.
need freedom of the press.
No, I think that's me. I think that a lot of times people think a certain thing about me that isn't correct.
And Hades has to just endure and continue to care for what is in his care. So So Hades has nothing to prove. And the people that are willing to understand and connect with that will get it. And the other people, fuck them.
I love that sentiment.
But you have to let go of that need for people to get it.
Yeah, because I have a very strong need to
They're
want
never
to
gonna get it.
explain it.
They're just
a
never
lot.
going to get it. And the more you explain it, the more you try to win them, the more angry and afraid they're going to become.
Is Joe going to get
That's
it?
wasted energy.
Are you going to get it? Do you get it?
It's not up to you whether he gets it or not.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting
yeah.
about these cards
Okay.
is that they're speaking to us individually, but they're also speaking to our
collectively.
friendship.
Yeah.
As a pair, as friends,
As a couple, you said it
You guys are a
earlier.
couple,
You
right?
can say it again.
Joe likes it too.
as a couple, you have the ability to be companions on this journey.
Oh.
And you know, Dionysus needs more light, more levity, more less concern about the consequences, right? And Hades is more of that shadowy side of things. They're sort of opposites there. And both of you need that sort of opposite. Now, it's interesting because you said, what do you need,
Yeah.
right? I think that you, Laura, have a little bit more of that Dionysus energy in you naturally.
You're what I need.
And you
I am
have that
exactly what you
opportunity to help introduce Joe to more of that energy. I think you have naturally a little bit more of that dark and shadowy side,
Thank you.
right? Not so much. It's not about death or anything like that.
Yeah.
a
It's
loner.
about that sort of turning inward.
Yeah, I do have that,
Right.
especially on the weekends.
And you have the opportunity to help her understand how to make more use of that energy. You both have these energies available to you. They're there. Everything here is telling you to accept the challenges, to dare.
This would be a great halftime speech at a
to dare.
football
Yeah,
game,
it
your
would be great.
homecoming game. The team's down. You're like, this is the night card.
Yeah.
Now
You should
let's
just
get
do it.
out
Yeah.
there. The journey's long. You don't know where it's going to lead you, but at the end, whatever.
Yeah. And then,
It was good until that point.
yeah, but that was
yeah.
great. Saul,
Yes.
thank you so much for being here with us this evening.
We went a lot deeper than I thought we were going to, but I'm,
I'm glad we
the
did.
spirit
Yes.
moved us there. The energy moved us there.
You fascinate me. The way you communicate, I think, is also fascinating. I like just even hearing you describe certain things.
Well, thank you.
And I
Yeah.
feel very calm right now.
I do, and I will say I was nervous because I didn't know what to expect. I think mostly, but this was. I honestly, I think inspirational more than like uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
thought it might be uncomfortable.
Coming at a great time in both of our lives. And we're going to try our best. So thank you so much for being here.
I'm so
And
glad I was able to do it.
Thank you so much. And we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back to kind of sum it up for our listeners. Woo, man. All right. Well, Saul has left the building.
Saul,
Didn't know if he was going to leave. I'm going to be honest with
the
you.
guy, he talks a lot,
Yeah.
but he also talks at a slower pace
He
because
does.
it's very deliberate. His
more
choice
mysterious
of words
that way,
Yeah,
too.
because he always keeps you guessing.
He does. Yeah, just like I was guessing if he would leave within the midnight hour, perhaps 1 a.m., just when he was thinking.
Well, he only exists in darkness. During the day, he hides, I think.
He's like a bat. He turns,
He's like a
into some
bat.
sort of nocturnal creature.
Yes.
Wow.
But big thanks to Mr. Ravencraft.
Yes, he was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I jest. I kid.
We jest. We
jest.
anyone who, I guess, comes here is
Anyone who
good
comes
in
here?
my book.
There's only 2 people who come in this house, okay?
Okay, I got to go.
No, that was lovely. He was wonderful.
Yeah, and I'll never look at my hands the same way. I'm at peace.
Really? I feel a little nauseous.
Whoa.
I think I'm just hungry.
One man's peace is another woman's
Nausea.
nauseous.
Nausea
Yeah.
would be the word.
Well, it's all right. To each their own.
Yeah, sure. I guess we kind of learned a little bit about that tonight, that we have to respect each other's perspectives.
Yes.
And that we are both different people, but together we make a beautiful combination. And some might even call us a beautiful couple.
Yin and yang.
I'm so glad you didn't say yin.
Yeah, I do know that. Yin and yang.
Yeah.
You got to connect them.
Well, which one's yin? Which one's yang, you think? I'm yang for sure.
I don't know what the difference is.
I don't know, because it sounds like wang. So I think
You're definitely
that's more
yang
me.
if that's what it is all about.
Do you think you learned anything from Saul tonight?
Gosh, I'm a lifelong learner, and I think learning is important.
Learning.
So I would say I've learned a lot. But I wouldn't be able to tell you what specifically I've learned. Great. But it was an experience.
Exactly the same for me. It's like looking in a mirror.
Everyone, right now,
yeah,
I look like you.
Yeah, here, put your hand up. Let's. Wow, it's like everything I do, you're doing it at the exact same time.
What if on the
now
final
I'm touching
episode?
My nips.
Okay,
come on.
What if on the final episode of this show we learned that it was just you looking in a mirror?
Oh my
recording
God,
this by
real.
Yourself the whole time.
Yeah, and then I was like talking like you. Like,
wait, you think my voice is that deep?
You think my voice is that deep?
Wow,
yeah.
I'm kind of flattered by your impression.
What a crazy thing, because now I'm doing an impression of myself.
Doing an impression.
Yeah. It's
don't you love that when they do that
layers.
on like SNL or it's like Trump doing Bill Cosby?
Yeah, that's great. Why don't you do that one since you brought it up?
Oh gosh, how does Trump go again?
How does Trump go again?
Yeah, what does he say?
I have the best missiles.
And then Bill Cosby, of course, is. So put them together. Bing, bing, bong.
Perfect. That's amazing.
Thank
and a round
you.
of applause for you.
Actually, that was really just Trump because he says
bing,
bing,
bing. Yeah.
bong.
Yeah. It's sad.
Honestly,
the world we live in.
That's my favorite thing about Trump.
Is saying bing, bing, bong.
It's so funny.
You know what? It's probably one of the most positive aspects.
It's what unites us all. Is that we
Bing,
all
bing,
love
bong.
when he goes bing, bing, bong.
But doesn't everyone like when he says China? That's another good one.
I'm okay with that, but I feel like...
because it sounds a little bit like Gina.
I think it's a little racist. So I think bing, bong I like
China.
better. Because I don't know what he's talking
And
about.
we love China. And all the Chinese listeners out there, thank you so much.
So back to Saul Ravencraft.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about Saul. How did we get so off topic?
It's your
so
fault. We'll have
not
to check
like us.
We'll have to check the tape.
It's so not like us.
Well, and you'll edit it out, and that's what I love.
Yeah, I will. Edit
This
a lot
show
of it out.
is to the point.
I mean, frankly, I edited a lot of Saul out too.
Oh,
Guys, I just want to be honest for everybody. We've been recording for couple hours now, and I was just laying on the ground while he was talking at one point. Like, thank you for being so engaging.
Oh, thank you.
We're in a kind of maybe a delirious place.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it started to get a little hazy for me.
Yeah,
like it wasn't even real.
What if,
like, we weren't even here?
You know how we put hand sanitizer on our hands?
You think he drugged us?
Yeah, what if that was a drug?
Oh, you know what? It crossed my mind.
We got Ravencraft.
It crossed my mind. I've heard of that before. Is that what that is?
Getting Ravencrafted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But
I always thought it was like a sex thing where you put a bird like on the other person's back and
you
then
always
you knitted
thought
a
this?
scarf.
And you always thought this?
Mm-hmm. Always thought that, but
Wow.
I get now it's getting hand sanitizer drugged.
All right.
Cool.
Well, again, big thanks to Saul Ravencraft.
Yeah.
What a hero, and probably not a guy who would drug us through our hands.
Yeah, that was just a joke.
That was a joke, and but he probably does that Raven thing you were talking about.
Oh, for sure.
But again, big thanks to our guest.
Yes. Before we leave, though, do you think we're closer or further apart?
I'm so glad you asked, because the answer might surprise you. Bing, bing, bong. No, the answer is yes.
Yes, we're closer?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're closer as well. Golly.
Golly
We're
gosh.
really just building a friendship here, and I love it.
It's kind of how Trump's building a new world.
Oh my
For
God.
all of
I
us.
mean, this is going to sink us, what you're doing.
What is?
You need to, this is the wrong audience for that. Okay.
Well, maybe we could grow our red state audience.
I don't want to. I'd rather be nothing than grow an audience with them.
Well, thanks for listening to another episode of Heavy Friending.
Good way to end it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's just be political.
And God bless America.
Oh, I have to say that? Having flashbacks to high school when I didn't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I got in so much trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Spencer threw a fit and she cried.
Why?
That's where
She took it personally.
Oh, yeah. She took it so, my dad was in the war, blah, blah, blah. Like nobody else had a dad in the war before.
Wow.
It's getting
All right.
intense. I'm delirious. Saul made us crazy.
Don't blame him for
My anti-American sentiments all on Saul. Sorry, Saul.
Sorry, man.
Just shake that ass, bitch, and let me see what you got.